This is Jake Ellenberger. I'm fighting Nate Marquardt, UFC 158 next weekend. Rain's always been kind of my home here. I've been training here for the last 2.5 years. Great coaching, great training partners here. Rafael, yeah, he's been in Brazil for a little while, but I've still been talking to him. You know, we've still been talking strategy and what he wants me to drill, focus on. I've been working with a couple of his top Muay Thai students, and so not a lot has really changed. You know, a lot of the same stuff I've been working on with Rafael, I continue to work on with his students over at Kings, and you know, just trying to piece it all together here, really, and then when we do MMA sparring. Ryron's been a huge help, you know. He's just a great guy, a good friend of mine more than anything, but a fantastic coach. So he kind of, you know, changes the way you think a little bit and expands your mind, kind of brings new ideas to the table, you know. And I like a lot of the ideas and things he brings, because, you know, he'll talk about, you know, what are you not willing to do, you know what I mean? And that's a weird, it's kind of an interesting question to think in your head, you know, like, what are you not willing to do? And that, you know, a lot of people don't want to go into the gym and get beat or get embarrassed or humiliated or whatever it may be. That's an ego thing, you know. And one thing that Ryron's always done is he's never had an ego, and you can tell, you know, just by his personality and the way he teaches too. Is, you know, for me, putting myself in more bad situations, you know, started being mounted or having my back take or whatever it may be, but you have to learn how to deal with those positions, you know, because you're going to find yourself there eventually, you know, at some point. You always do. But, I mean, you know, same here in Rain. You know, Mark's always had the same philosophy, no ego, and, you know, everybody helps each other get better here. So it's been great, though. It's been a good past few months. I definitely been focusing a lot on my striking, I should say, but you got to consistently train everywhere, you know. And I've been training on the ground for a long time, you know, since I started training. Jiu-jitsu was one of the first things I started training, you know, before wrestling and then before boxing. But you know, it's great to have somebody like Ryron just to learn from, you know, just kind of pick his brain, and I enjoy spending time with him. And you know, he happens to be one of the best guys, you know, in the world at what he does, you know, if not the best. But yeah, like I said, I consistently, you know, training everywhere, and for me, I've been putting myself, you know, in those positions, like start from getting taken down or start on my back, or you always got to plan worst case scenario, you know. And I've never had an ego to where I'm not going to put myself in that situation. I think that's what holds a lot of people back in their career, or you know, determines sometimes, you know, you lose a round, or you even lose a fight because of the uncomfortable position or situation you're in, you know. But it's never been an issue with me. I think more and more in MMA, in general, you don't want to be on your back. I mean, you think about it, in the guard, especially closed guard, it's a dangerous position to be in. I mean, you really have to have a sense of urgency if you're on the bottom of anybody. And whether it's looking for a sweep, looking for a leg, looking to stand up, whatever it may be. But it is, because anybody with a lot of power, whether it's an elbow or a strike, that could be ending the fight, you know, or cut you. And it's just a tough position to be in. So yeah, I don't like to be on my back. And that has nothing to do with wrestling. That's just you're losing a round. You know, being realistic, and you're fighting in the octagon, you're losing the round because you're getting controlled or whatever it may be. I mean, yeah, and you, like I said, Nate's pretty solid everywhere. But I think I have the misdirection, and I can dictate where this fight goes. The two things I've been working a lot is my speed and the timing, because each fight you try to focus on different things you need to get better at. But I don't try to make huge changes. You know what I mean? I try to make small things, and like two things I've been working on is my speed, which is, you know, my footwork, speed, and agility, and then as well as my timing. Because, you know, people, that's the same thing. I was looking forward to fighting Johnny. You know, funny you mentioned that. He has credentials in wrestling, which is, you know, he's amazing. He's national champ in wrestling, but MMA is completely different when you talk about wrestling. The timing is different, the setups are different. It's a completely different game, and that's what I've been, you know, training from day one is been wrestling for MMA. So I was really looking forward to that fight. Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna meet eventually. You know what I mean? I think we will, but you know, right now it's Nate. But that's the things that I've been really focused on, is that transition game.
Click on the microphone to watch the full feature of Jake Ellenberger only at MMAinterviews.tv.